Yo, 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 what is going on, CoD Familia? It is your boy BN, aka Mr. Kingdom Builder, and today we are going to be showing you probably the big question that a lot of people have been wondering, and as it pertains to migration, and how many players can I bring into a kingdom, and what will the activity status change to for that kingdom? Well, we're going to answer that for you, and basically what is a shadow change / adjustment that's been made, but no announcement or indication has been provided to us publicly that this actually is happening, as sadly sometimes that has been the case. It would be nice if these things were, but let's dive into it. As always, if you enjoy the content, make sure you throw us up because it helps out a lot. So, what is actually happening? What is jeez, I try not to die here. So, if I go and I look at the pre-war server, let's say I want to migrate somewhere. I can't go to any here because I'm not in the same season. You can see for pre-Strife 2 as well, everything's red. If I go to Season of Strife, I have to select something that is either green or orange. I can't select something that's red. So, orange, I can apply, but I really want to select green. And it says I can migrate, migration permitted, but that's all I see on the screen. However, the change that we're talking about here is this one. So I want to point out, this was shared to me by Spartan from ANCS over in Kingdom 23, so shout out to Spartan. I appreciate the lookout. And as always, if anyone out there notices any changes in the game that were not announced in any patch notes or a notice board or maybe something that was in a recent Q&A or dev feedback, I will mention about that in a moment. Please feel free. You can shoot me, hit me up on Discord, or join the server. Link to that in the pinned comment description down below. So this is what we're seeing now. There's a preview button here. Now, there obviously isn't one when I go and look at kingdoms. And the important part here is that, again, to appropriately take away, is I imagine this is for alliance leaders. This is not for just regular members. And that will become clear once we look at this screenshot. Is that you could see there's a number of amazing things here. And I'm actually pretty excited for this. So let's break it down. Number one. This is the migration preview beta that you can see here. Number two, this is an example of looking at Kingdom 133. Number three is that you have a refresh timer over here in the top right corner. Spartan confirmed with me this is 10 seconds that you can refresh this so you can see what the real-time activity status, along with also getting probably an indication for anyone that's recently migrated there as well, because I imagine the bar will adjust in real time, or at least in real time, and then you refresh every 10 seconds. Number four is that you have a member management button, and I imagine this is probably like a checkbox style system where you can check and you can see how many people and then what would the status change. That is incredibly useful for anyone that is aiming to migrate to a kingdom. Number one, because you get to check the initial status of the kingdom and see how far the bar is. Is this the lowest? Could it actually go all the way to the end where nothing shows and then it still says normal, or barely anything that's visible when it says normal? Like, how far back does that go? Or is this the starting point? And then being able, let's look at this. Number four, I guess number five at this point, is that you have three players that have been selected here. I think they total to about 120, 250, 60, 191, like what's that, 570, 571 million power? And so that's already moving this bar 3 times the amount based on how it looks. That's a decent chunk. And so the leader is able to select the players here, and then I imagine probably click something like check or confirm. We'll maybe see that in another screenshot. But I think this is massive. And we're going to get into that a little bit here in a bit too as well, as far as diving a little bit more into why I think this is a good change. Next screenshot here is actually showing the bar changing. So now Spartan selected 8 players, and the bar changes from normal to active, just from 8 people going in. Now, some people might say that's pretty steep and intense. It obviously depends on where that kingdom is in their top 300 power. What was their activity status before? Again, because I don't know when the screenshot was taken. If this was today, if it was a couple days ago. I do want to note here that Spartan confirmed with me that this preview button came available, or first noticed it, on November 7th. So that's 5 days ago. If anyone's noticed it before that, please feel free to let us know. So we got this screenshot, 8 players going, goes from active. This next screenshot, 65 players are going, and it goes from normal to crowded. I mean, that's pretty nutter butters. And then we get to look at the member management screen for how this looks. So you can see standard, just like check, uncheck. You can check the whole category for the ranked tier or just the individual players and then go from there. Now, why do I think this is... Oh, first off, let me get to this part. This actually has been mentioned before. I can't recall if it was in a dev feedback Q&A or in a feedback round, but I believe it was in one of them from what I remember. And essentially, the conversation that took place was that they were planning to introduce something in the game that would allow for an alliance to apply to migrate or to indicate that they want to migrate to that kingdom. So that way... now, keep in mind, that is not what we're seeing here. To be clear, this is a preview beta. They did say that they want to create something that would allow for you to see that as an alliance moving. Now, whether or not that's going to be something you can apply to the kingdom for, and then it saves spots, or it's just going to end up being this preview feature. Regardless, I still think this is a good direction change, because now it's going to allow for you to see if you want to bring 60, you want to bring 100 people. Can you all fit? Like, that is the number one question, is will all of the players that want to migrate or filled out our migration form or said yes, they're checking off, maybe you're doing a reaction on your Discord, whatever it may be, they have, a number of people have shown interest. You can now take that accurate, up-to-date tally of people that want to migrate with you and then apply that by selecting those people and then going to each of these kingdoms and trying that out. Now, you may say, well, okay, boss, that still is, it is better, but that still will take a little bit of time because you'd have to go to each kingdom and then, I imagine, check off all the people that want to apply. Now, one way to make this process faster, little pro tip here, is you put all the people that want to migrate with you to a specific rank, and then you just hit the checkbox for that rank. Right? So, for example, you would move all the people to rank 3, and then that way you have to kind of check and uncheck some of the officers. That is one way to shorten it so it doesn't take that long. That probably cuts it down a significant amount. So, still, this is, I believe, a great step in the right direction. Can there still be more to it? Absolutely. But I do think this covers a pretty good basis and resolves a pretty major and outstanding request from the community to get a better indication on how many people can go somewhere without it filling up. Now, yes, this still does not guarantee that if you have 65 players in this example, will all of those 65 players be able to get in? Because you still do not know if other people outside of your alliance, and more importantly outside of your kingdom, could also be applying to the same kingdom. So the thing I look at this from is that this is a way to, if you really want to take advantage of this, which again, I think is a good feature, you need to make sure that everyone that is interested in migrating is ready to go. Because if they're not, then there's the chance that, sure, maybe some of the stragglers or the ones that could not get in on the first wave could still make it in through special migration if you hit full status, or as long as the kingdom doesn't fill up, maybe they can get in on the next migration wave. But really making sure everyone has the amount of permits they need and everyone that can go is able to go on that first wave, and then everyone times it out to go at the same time, right? So this way you increase and you maximize your percentage chance of success to get everyone in. Aside from that, like I said, I am pretty stoked about this. I haven't seen anything officially announced that this is being tested, and so I would love to hear what you think. Do you like this? Do you like the idea of it? Is there anything that's maybe missing that you would like to see added? Or maybe something changed? Let me know in the comments down below. But yeah, are we for shadow changes and shadow updates? No, not at all. Would we have liked for this to be announced that this is something that's being tested? Absolutely. However, are we mad at it? It's kind of like a yes and no. A little bit of a gray area there. But let me know what you guys think. That's it for me. As always, until next time, we'll catch you later.